As you guys all know, Captain Aizen, or former Captain Aizen, and Unohana had one on-screen interaction, and even when we first got the big reveal that Aizen was really not who he portrayed himself to be, and that it's all part of his master plan from what, 100, 200 years ago, I always had the question, now that we know more about Captain Unohana, who would have won in a fight versus Aizen and Unohana at the time? And the answer may not be as clear cut as you may think. So today's video, I'm going to deep dive that interaction a little bit more. So sit back, relax, and let's get into today's topic. So yes, Aizen and Unohana, back during the Soul Society arc when Aizen revealed his big masterful plan, and Unohana, you saw signs prior to the buildup that she was not quite buying the corpse that Aizen had. She wasn't sure if it was like a corpse doll, but she knew that there was some shenanigans. And at first I just thought it was because she is, again, one of the best healers in the Soul Society. She's got a tons of experience. She's Shunsui and Jushiro's senior. You know, maybe it was just that years of experience, like she knows her way around a dead corpse, right? Not knowing the context that not only does Unohana know a dead corpse, like she knows her way around a dead body, right? So we saw the hints that, you know, she was like, something ain't right. And so she ends up going into Central 46. And of course she catches up to Aizen and Gin, and they, you know, they have their entire back and forth. And all I can really think during their interaction is Aizen seems to be like saving face, but he seems to be like, Gin, get us up out of here, because I do not want to fight her, but I gotta look cool. And so he basically tells her, hey, you know, I commend you for being able to tell the difference between my Kyoka Sugetsu and a real dead body. You know, the fact that you can even sense or have a sliver of doubt is just worthy of praise. And I don't think people understand how big of a praise that is. Like, Kyoka Sugetsu is 100% foolproof illusion. Like, you can't tell the difference between reality and, you know, the illusions that he's picking up. And the fact that Unohana was able to even like for a second suspect it is a really big deal, because most of the characters that we've seen be under Aizen's hypnosis are none the wiser. But Unohana, on the other hand, was like, something ain't right. And it reminds me of when Yamamoto and Aizen fought. Yes, Yamamoto was under Kyoka Sugetsu, but he knew the difference between a fake blade and a real blade piercing his abdomen. So when it comes to these more experienced, tenured captains that have seen more bloodshed than you can only imagine, like, Aizen's illusions are just only going to do so much. So, which begs the question, like, who would have won if they would have fought? And I know that Kubo actually did a club outside discussing, you know, what would have happened, and I believe he broke it down as the fight with Unohana would have just exhausted Aizen to the point to where he wouldn't have had enough like energy to kind of proceed with his plans, or she would have stalled him long enough to where more captains would have came. Not that it really matters for, well, it does matter with Unohana, but just in general, the way that Aizen was able to solo the captains during the fake Karakura arc. However, none of those captains were Unohana at the time. So you have someone with Unohana's experience fighting him. Let's just say Shunsui pops up, Jushiro or Yamamoto. Those three or those four versus Aizen probably would have been enough to take him out at the time, because the Hōgyoku hadn't even fused with them at the time. So yeah, my personal headcanon is Aizen knew full well who Unohana was and what she was about, what time she was on. He knew that being in the same room with her was just not the vibe. He knew that if I cross blades with this woman, it's going to take a minute, because this woman is bloodthirsty. So I'm going to find the easiest way to get up out of here. I'm not even going to deal with her. I'm not going to waste my time, because once Unohana flips into bloodthirsty killer mode, it's a wrap. And since we're on the topic of Unohana versus Aizen, I always thought it was weird when the Kaizens, the captains were getting cut down in the fake Kura arc. So you had like Hitsugaya, Shunsui, Soifone, I think Haribel got slashed, and Unohana was basically healing everyone. I think Hiyori was definitely like going to die had Unohana not came. But while everyone's like literally dying and fighting for their lives, why didn't Unohana join the fight right then and there? And I think that's like a big question that like myself and the fandom have had. Like, the fact that the world was at stake and Yamamoto had just fallen to Aizen, you would have just thought that Unohana at that time would have stepped up and fought Aizen. Not sure why she didn't. I would imagine it's the same reason why she didn't fight against Yūhabak during the second invasion. It's because Yamamoto most likely told her you are forbidden to join the front lines. And that's honestly, that's probably a discussion for another video, because as cool and badass as it is that Kenpachi is able to finally like learn his Shikai Bankai, why Shunsui didn't cut them loose like rabbit dogs against the Quincy will forever like escape me. Like, I just don't understand the logic. Like, couldn't she have, like, I don't know, fought Kenpachi to the point to where like he's like 98% unlocked of his full powers, and then just have at it, both of them like rabid dogs? Like, it would have made more sense. But I don't know, maybe Shunsui was just thinking about the storytelling element. I don't know. But getting back to the initial exchange between Aizen and Unohana, I think that Kubo was definitely cooking and setting the nuggets early on about Unohana and what we had to expect going forward from her. I think he's always done a good job with her character, as far as letting us know that she's powerful, letting us know that she has a past that we don't 100% know about, but it's just like, something about her is just not all the way what it may seem to be. And I think Aizen's response to her was very appropriate for his character as well. I definitely think that he probably could have taken her, but again, his words, it just would have been way too exhausting. It's the same reason why he didn't want to fight Yamamoto one-on-one. Like, he had to seal him, right? It's not like Aizen doubts his powers, but he just knows that with these more experienced captains, it's going to just take way too long, because they're experienced. They're not going to fall for the illusions and the parlor tricks and, you know, all the things that maybe the younger captains like Hitsugaya, Momo, well, she's not really a captain, but you know, these more inexperienced characters can fall for that kind of stuff. Someone like Unohana, who is well over 1,000 years old, who was part of the original Gotei 13, she's probably seen, you know, abilities far worse than that. And again, she knows her way around a corpse. She knows her way around a dead body. Like, you're wasting your time even trying to fool her. But I want to flip the question back to you. Who do you guys think would have won had they been bloodlusted right there in the Central 46? Do you think that Unohana would have had a chance to take out Aizen before he became the big bad? Or do you think that he would have one-shot her the same way he did Hitsugaya? Let me know in your comments. If you guys like videos like this, I will be doing more Bleach character analysis, scenes like this, just kind of giving my unwarranted and unasked opinions. So if you like this, subscribe. I also do Castlevania Nocturne content. And as my channel evolves, I'm thinking about doing more series as well. Bleach is actually one of my first loves. Of course, Dragon Ball, Naruto are always going to be my favorites as well, but just want to expand my channel. So if you guys like this, stick around. There's more content to come, and I'll see you in the next upload.